This is to say, I don't want to glorify what is possible when you're disabled. Being disabled is hard. And it's made harder when things aren't accessible. And these kind of arenas are rarely as accessible as they need to be. We are heading out of Klagenfurt and we are heading to Spielberg for the F1 race. What a time. Yesterday a 10X talk, today an F1 race. We're really packing it all in this Austria trip.
It's surreal. It's so cool.
Okay, you guys, after I think like about an hour and a half long car ride, and then we managed to find the parking amongst the chaos of 300,000
300,000 people at this race. Well, I was expecting 100. I didn't realize, and then I looked it up.
100,000 to be clear.
100,000, yes. 100 people.
100 people for an F1 race. Yeah, so we figured that out, got dropped off. Then we had to like walk to a line for the transport little trolleys.
Little shuttles, yeah.
Thankfully
Cute
that
little.
went like, it was a long line, but it went real quick.
Yeah.
And then now we're like hiking our way to check in where we like stay.
Yeah, look at this. It's just like a dirt path to the track. I did not expect this.
We ain't on a yacht in Monaco.
Nope.
That's for sure. We ain't doing a bougie influencer style. Yeah, so we're gonna get in, and it'll be our first experience of an F1 race. Did we do Vegas? No. Did we do Austin? No. Did we do Montreal even? No. Did we do Miami? Absolutely not. We came to Austria to do the first F1 race. So it's about 12:15 now. The race starts at 3, so hopefully the line to get in isn't
Oh,
too
we're like,
big.
oh no, it's not very big at all. We're right here. We've made it.
Yay.
Okay, we'll check back in with you in a minute.
Once we're inside, see you there. It's been over an hour and I have not updated you. It has been an adventure to say the least. It was very funny. I've never had this happen at the ticketing. They like separated me from my boyfriend and forced us to go in separate barricaded lines.
Yeah, like women and men in separate lines.
Which is so strange, and I don't speak German.
And they like dragged you. They like pulled you through
me.
without any negotiation or discussion of
No.
like, and I had to like shout, "Oh my God, she's blind!" And then the guy just like waved at me like, "It's fine, don't worry about it."
It was so bizarre,
Yeah.
and then they're like just pulling me, they're like, ticket, and I was like, he has the ticket.
Yeah, you don't even have the ticket.
I don't have the ticket. So that was very strange. And then we
But it
got
worked out.
in and immediately turned the wrong direction and walked for 30 minutes the wrong way. And then realized that and then backtracked and then started walking the correct way. So we've been wandering for what, like an hour and a half, an hour?
It's 1:20 and we
It's
arrived at 11.
We arrived at like
Well,
noon.
yeah, noon.
So like,
noon,
yeah,
noon.
like
Yeah, so an
an hour
hour
and a half.
and 20.
it is so hot, it's insane.
Insanely hot.
It is like the hot, it's like a crazy heat wave has hit Austria, and it is like unprecedented heat. I think 2 days ago was the hottest day reported in history or something like that. So it's like so sweaty, and there is 300,000 people
Literally
all
300,000.
just baking in the sun. So thankfully we found like a little La Roche-Posay sunscreen place.
Oh wait, I have to go back and get a clip of that. Oh well, too late.
okay.
It's too far away.
I'm sure there's gonna be another one.
Yeah.
So thanks for the free sunscreen, La Roche-Posay. Slay, love that. Because other than that, we've been roasting.
We've gotten 2 bottles of water, a bottle of lemonade, and a lemon
a
icy.
non-alcoholic lemon icy. Thankfully, my boyfriend's letting me borrow his hat until we find one for
Yeah,
me.
chivalry still exists.
I didn't have a hat or a sunscreen. Look, this was a very last-minute decision to come to this race, okay? And we've never been to anything like this. I don't do festivals.
We didn't expect it to
We're
be so
not
hot.
like prepared
like,
people
yeah.
for this kind of stuff. Neither of us have ever been to a proper festival, and neither of us have ever been to an F1 race. So you could say we did not know what we were doing. Like, I thought I had to bring just like one small bag.
Yeah,
People
everyone has
don't
like
brought
backpacks and stuff. I'm like, shit, I could have brought so much, like bottles and bottles of water.
Yep. So for next time, we know now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like didn't pack a hat, like just for the whole trip. I didn't bring a hat. And I didn't bring sunscreen because I'm stupid. Don't do like me.
We're gonna go. I'm gonna expedite this, right? We're gonna go to the fan zone and get a hat, and then we're gonna go find our seats. We're gonna get it hopefully a bit cooler.
We also found a cooling ice misting fan.
Yes, that was
was
great.
nice.
Okay, off we go.
This is what we're talking about. Look at that ice fan. So good. We just
Very
did it
good.
again.
Yeah, it's so hot.
Hopefully my Meta Ray-Bans are waterproof. I keep misting them.
It's a
Next
good
time
test.
I'll take them off.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go! Wow! Croatian Stallions again with a stable time, 4.7.
Okay, so we're hanging in the fan zone, and it's about like an hour and some change to the race.
And exactly an hour, yeah.
Exactly an hour. So we're having a schnitzel burger. When in Rome, as they say. We'll see how it is. It's nice. There's like some shade here. Sitting is nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's give it a taste.
You poked yourself?
Yeah,
Basically a fried chicken sandwich.
it's like a chicken burger.
Yeah.
But got some protein, some carbs.
Energy for the rest of the long day because we're gonna
Fuel
not get home, not get to the next hotel until what, 10 p.m.?
Yep.
So,
Oh, and by the way, I've been up since 3 a.m.
Molly has not been sleeping
I
well.
got 4 hours of sleep last night and 3 hours the night before. I'm hoping tonight will be my night.
I really hope so. This is such an exhausting physical day in the heat like this. It's bound to get you so tired.
Yeah, I actually have a friend who I went to high school with, Daniel. I use the term friend loosely. I know somebody who I went to high school with, Daniel. And I'm gonna link his Instagram page below because he has cerebral palsy and he uses a motorized wheelchair, and he's like big in the music scene. And he is like doing a lot of work to create accessibility at festivals and events, so that like disabled people can enjoy events like this, because there's so many barriers just to like getting in.
Just to getting here, it's
Just to
like
getting here.
miles of walking,
Yeah.
gate after gate,
And like dense crowds,
Yeah.
heat, like just something as
curbs
simple-
where like you have to get up a curb.
and like even just walking in here is like through a forest, over
Yeah.
grass, like
Yeah.
you know. And so the amount of people I know in my community who would love to come to stuff like this, but literally just can't logistically because spaces aren't made for them to succeed and to have that same experience. And things like having a cart that drives you to your seat, like that is not like a benefit. That is equity. That is simply allowing the person to have the same experience because we don't get to. So I'm gonna link what he's doing below because I think it's so cool and more people need to know about it. Oh, also I'm very, very excited about this. I get a lot of sensory overload. And on a day like this when it's like I haven't had a lot of sleep, it's super hot, there's a ton of people, there's smells of like cigarettes and oil from cars, and
It's so intense.
like it's so intense, and we have like 2 or 3 hours of sitting in front of like race cars constantly. So I was able to get these. I bought the last pair. They're like €40 worth every penny, and it's like a noise canceling.
They're really
ear
nice.
protection. Yeah, and they have like F1 branding on them.
Yeah, like carbon fiber and like, well, I don't know if it's real carbon fiber, but they're very lightweight. And
Yeah.
they work
So-
well. They're comfy.
Yeah, they're comfy. I'm very happy that I got those.
Oh yeah, and we got this hat that Molly was
I
going
got
to
for
wear.
myself.
Just a red F1 hat, but it's too big for her.
It is,
She
like,
has a tiny head.
Massive.
In fact, this Enchanté hat fits you quite well.
This is like the perfect size hat for me.
Yeah, we have to get you some. So this is Enchanté. This is Daniel Ricciardo's merch, who was an F1 driver.
Deep
So there
cut.
you go.
That's a deep cut right there. So yeah, we traded hats. That's now his.
Yes, this one's mine now.
For anybody wondering, my favorite driver is Lewis Hamilton, and I would
yes,
like to
okay.
plead my case now. So you don't think I'm a fake fan. I'm a little bit of a fake fan, but I'm not really a fake fan.
No, you're not. Not a fake fan.
I mean, I'm not like your level of fan.
You know plenty about Lewis Hamilton. And case in point, go ahead and describe.
Okay. So he's not just my favorite driver because he's like the greatest driver of all time. He's my favorite for multiple reasons. Number one, first and foremost, obviously fashion. Hello. The man's a fashion icon. Ever heard at the Met Gala? He slays. He is so fashionable, a man after my own heart. Love that. Secondly, I think anybody who knows F1 can admit it's a bit of a like wealthy white man's sport. And I like rooting for the underdog. As a minority woman, I love seeing other minorities succeed. And for those who don't know, Lewis Hamilton is a black man, and he didn't grow up in like exorbitant wealth like many of the other drivers. So it's like he had two things going against him in this space, and yet he not only succeeded to get into such an exclusive industry at the top level, like, and became number one. So love that. Love seeing other minorities and underdogs succeed. And his brother, Nicholas Hamilton, is disabled and a race car driver. He has cerebral palsy, and he drives in like another racing, what is it called? The one he drives in?
Basically like a touring car race series with lots of different sponsors and lots of different types of cars, so it's hard to pinpoint, but yeah. But
I love that like Lewis Hamilton never like uses that as like he's not like I have a disabled but and vice versa. Like Nicholas isn't like here Lewis, give me money so I can succeed. It's like
Nicholas is earning his own seat
like,
in the car.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. And Nicholas is also a motivational speaker. Love that. So yeah. Anyways, those are my multifaceted reasons. There you have it.
Okay, let's eat lunch and then get to our seats.
Okay, we got a nice cold beer. It's cool. It's in like this very thick, like memorabilia kind of glass with all this like fun pop art on it. And we found our seats. 30 minutes to the race. Got my headgear ready.
Yep.
I'm gonna be so cool.
Yeah. We're all set, finally. It was a journey to get here,
It
Jesus.
was a journey. But we got here.
Wow. What a view. Hello everyone, Molly's boyfriend here to describe some of the footage from the race. So we had really incredible seats. Our perspective of the track was amazing. We could see almost every single corner. The track is very windy and full of mountains in the background, super lush and really pretty. And we could see the cars weaving through. And I was doing my best to try to describe to Molly which cars were in which positions. And it was a little hard even for me as a big fan to tell because it was so loud and the sound coming from the big screens of the actual commentators was too quiet to hear. Here's a quick clip of our train ride home. Molly was exhausted. It was very late at night. I was quite tired too. It was so hot. And that was the end of our day.
My, where to begin? So, last few seconds. Glad I had my hand at the base of this wine glass, or that would have. This is the problem when you're a hand talker and you're blind. Risky business. I hand flailed, for those who can't see, and just knocked the top of my wine glass, and it like
tall
tipped.
glass.
It is a taller glass than I'm used to.
Yeah, it's a cool shape though.
This is why I love when I drink wine. This is a total off tangent now. To have a stemless.
Yeah.
Only stemless.
I always forget to ask, honestly.
Well, most
I need
like,
to start
restaurants
remembering
don't
to
have
ask.
them,
Well, yeah, but they could even just put it in like say one of these cups that we had the water in.
Yeah, but then I feel less fancy.
Yeah.
But only stemless at home. Blind girl hack. So the last you saw, we sat down, the race had begun. And,
I enjoyed the race very much. I don't know why Molly would have, because it's just a bunch of droning, loud car sounds with me trying to describe.
The protective ear wear was great.
Yes.
I mean, you're always good at commentary.
Yes, I try.
But mostly I was like, I just can't, I was fighting for my life.
Really
to stay,
tired, really hot and uncomfortable.
Stay awake. The sun was beating down on us. It was so hot. And just like running on so little sleep for 2 nights in a row, I was just like, okay, this heat. I had already the race started at 3. I had been awake since 3, so like that was already the 12-hour mark of my day, and so much of it was like in the heat, walking around, overstimulated. So I was just fighting to stay alive. So kind of just closed my eyes with my little ear gear on and just like breathed, did lots of deep breaths, and then we headed out to the free shuttles. We get to there's a long walk to get to the free shuttles. We get there thankfully like way before most people. There was still like maybe like 100.
Yeah, a couple hundred people ahead of us.
In front of us, but there was thousands behind us because I think it's 300,000 people all leaving. And a lot of those people are taking free shuttles. So we got there thankfully pretty early, but it was utter chaos because nobody you don't form a line. Everybody is just in a clump of people, like a crowd, like 30, 50 people wide and thousands of people deep. And there's no orderly way to get on these buses. Everybody is just pushing to be the ones to get on. And so, and I'm very little, you guys know, I'm 4'11", and then I have the cane with me. So
God, imagine the chaos and the...
When you like can't see either, and it's just like people pushing.
Ugh.
It was just like very chaotic. But I was like, I'm not letting people do this to me. I was like,
Yeah, you were
pushing.
feisty. You were great.
Because people, when you're short and have a cane, it's like I can't see and I'm small, and people are all like over top of me.
Yeah, everyone, yeah.
And so it's like I'm so easy to just butt in front of, and I was like, I cannot. It's up to me to not let that happen. So I was just like sticking my arm out with the cane and just.
And like I was having you in front of me because I didn't want to drag you behind and get lost. So I was like standing, holding your shoulders, and like helping steer, but hang on to you so we wouldn't get separated because it was that intense.
Oh, I could hear other couples being like, "You're holding on to my backpack, right? Yeah, I've got you."
Yeah,
like,
it was intense.
Like people were really trying to stick together. Another person lost her husband. Like she was like, "Please let me up. I can't find my husband. He's lost." So yeah, very chaotic. And it, like on the buses, they were packing them so deep that it was like standing room only. Like all the seats would be taken, and then people were standing in the whole aisle of the bus. It was crazy. Then we get to the train station, and we got to the train station like early. We had booked an express train from Spielberg to Vienna, which is a 2.5 hour ride on the express train. And like our train wasn't until 7:15, but we got there at like 5. So we had a couple hours to just like sit there. And
so tired.
It was one of those where all I needed was to be able to like lay down, but there's nowhere to obviously lay down. It's just like a concrete floor.
Landing platform. Yeah, it wasn't like a big train station that would have like an interior lobby area.
Yeah,
it was
just like
just
a
the
small
platform.
local,
Yeah,
which is a platform. And you know when you're like so tired that you just need to sleep, but my body was so physically uncomfortable that I like every position I tried to like sit in, I was like, I'm so uncomfortable.
absolutely miserable. Yeah.
So we like are waiting all of this time, and then ours is the only single train to be delayed. So we're like, oh my god, it's delayed by 30 minutes. This is so frustrating. So we go over to like our exact platform. We're like, whatever, let's just be at our platform. So when it does come, we can get on. They will not let us sit. Everybody who's sitting down,
Yeah, they kept yelling at us
they
to
kept
stand.
being like, everybody stand. Like you're not allowed to sit at all on the platform. And so we're just down now, standing up, like
For a half hour waiting for our train.
And people are starting to get like kind of aggressive
Oh,
again.
yeah.
With like, there's so many people trying to get on these trains, and again, these trains are like standing room only. Like they're packing them in. It's more like a subway than what I would consider like a train.
Yeah.
And so people are like getting really, and there's like no staff anywhere other than the one telling everybody to keep standing, who's like helping check tickets, coordinate things, nothing. So we're standing there, and everybody's starting to stand right at the edge of the platform, so that in the hopes of getting a seat, because think everybody else has also been standing all day and in the heat and like had a long day at the race.
You can tell like their infrastructure is not equipped to support 300,000 people coming through their town.
Yeah.
Because it only happens one day a year.
Exactly. Which is like fair, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, it is a chaotic experience.
Yeah, it's wild.
So then we're standing at the platform, and they announced the train's coming, and we were like, great, they made up some time. Like it's 7:30, it was pushed to 7:45, but it's coming. So everybody's standing there, and the moment that door opens, again, it is just everybody's shoving.
Yeah, it was even worse than for the buses.
Yeah, and this woman like cuts me off and like smashes me, and I'm just getting like, I am so beyond
overstimulated.
burnt out at this point. Like my body is on like survival. I am just like, and so we thankfully like we get on, and then there was like disabled seating, and a man like stood up to give us the disabled seating. Thank God. And so we sat down in the fold down. And I like just start getting teary because I was just like so overwhelmed and so like at my limit. Just like that last final bit of people like pushing was just like too much for me.
Really overwhelming.
And so I like start
And
tearing.
you know when you're tired, it's like hard to regulate your emotions.
Yes.
You know?
It's hard to absolutely like it's just like your nervous system is like fried. You're at your end.
Exactly, yeah.
And so it's like very little to trigger like just getting overwhelmed. And so we get on, and I'm like, I start to get teary, but then immediately I hear people realizing we're on the wrong train. And I immediately like turned to my partner and I was like, we're on the wrong train.
But it was kind of like in broken English, like the gentlemen that were telling the other guys they were on the wrong train were Spanish, and then the other guys were either like American or German or something. So I kind of heard, but I was like, oh, maybe they're talking about something else. Like, it's hard to tell. But you heard them very clearly.
I heard them very clearly.
Yeah.
That they said, no, this is the
So I was in
train
denial.
across.
I was like, no, this is the train. Like, I was looking at the signs, and this is the one that was coming, and we were on the right platform, and what other train could it be?
Yeah, so we hear this, and I hear these guys being like, no, this isn't the one to Vienna. This is the one to Graz.
Which is an hour south, an hour south of where we were, but yeah, like an extra hour long
further
away,
from
out of the way,
Vienna.
the opposite direction.
So I say this, and I obviously I can't look at all the maps and see the stuff. So I had heard an announcement for the platform that the train is arriving in 3 minutes on platform 3 for Graz. But for all I knew, we were getting on the Graz train,
right,
and it stops in Vienna. So I didn't twig, because I'm not the one looking at the maps and planning the trains. But then when I hear, no, not Vienna, Graz, wrong train, they said you have to get off at Leuven and transfer to Vienna. So I said that to my partner, so he's like, let me check. So he's looking it up, and he's like, no, I think this is the right one. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna close my eyes.
I was in such denial, yeah. And then 30 minutes later, the train is on the right track, and then it turns right and detours south
to Graz. And so that's when he wakes me, he's like,
I'm so sorry, I have terrible news. Everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna get off and get train tickets. We're just gonna arrive 2.5 hours later, or 2 hours later. Yeah, 2.5 hours later than we were planning.
Yeah. And at this point, I am
well
holding
beyond,
on for dear life
yeah.
to get to my bed. All I want is to hop in a quick shower because I'm so gross, and then get in bed and lay my body flat. That is all I need. And I'm hanging on, thinking, oh my god, it's only 8 o'clock and we're not even gonna get home until 10:30. And then I find out, no, we're not even gonna get to the train station until midnight.
I felt so bad.
But here's the thing, I wasn't mad.
No, I know. I just felt
at
awful
you.
for you. You were such a trooper all day long, and I could tell you were in the negative spoons already. And then it was we're asking you to do a million more things. And there's no way to just close your eyes and sleep. It's just physically impossible. You know?
In those spaces. The thing is, it was nobody's fault.
It just
Other
sucked.
people made the same mistake. It's confusing. We don't know the language. All the announcements were in German. This is why people say travel with your partner. Before you get married, travel with your partner. Because some people faced with this situation, get in a fight or get angry with each other. It never crossed my mind to be mad. It was just this was nobody's fault. It was an accident. It was a mistake, and that happens. And does it suck? Yeah, but I'm not mad. I'm not gonna get angry at you. I'm just ugh, it sucks.
Yeah.
But things like that happen when you travel, and you just get through it together. And that's how you build partnership and build resilience in your relationship. And so, I knew he would figure it out, and. So we just booked on my phone, 2 tickets for the Graz to Vienna, leaving at 9:30. So transferred, 40 minutes later, got on the new train, which also had no AC.
So hot. We were already so hot, and then to get on a train that was hotter than it was outside.
It was almost panic-inducing heat.
It was.
It was
a very claustrophobic. Yes.
Everybody on the train is panicking because
Yeah.
of it. Multiple
I'm glad it wasn't
people.
just us. Yeah.
Even people from here were trains aren't usually like this. This is not how this is. And so they finally found a conductor to open the window,
It was
unlock
locked.
it.
Yeah.
And we opened it, and that made the world of a difference for everybody on the car. But that was intense. So then it's another 2.5 hour train ride. And so we get to the Vienna station, the main Vienna station at midnight, get out. The first taxi denies us because our ride is only 5 minutes away, which is normal times fine. I would just be we'll walk. I'm not walking in a random city I don't know at midnight when I'm this exhausted and I have blisters all over my feet. I was limping for a good, from probably 1 in the afternoon onwards. I've been limping.
Because there was so much walking, even more than I was expecting at the race. Because as you guys saw, we arrived on the opposite side of the racetrack. So you have to walk around like a 3-kilometer racetrack.
Right. And we had started by going the wrong way for a while.
Yeah.
Retracing back.
It was like an extra 30 minutes of walking just to get back to where we started, and then go all the way around the racetrack to get to where we needed to go.
And because I only packed like a small carry-on for the whole trip, like, to be honest, I just wasn't really thinking. I was thinking about me doing a TED Talk, and I knew we were doing the F1, but like my priority is packing like the high heels, the hair straightener, like a couple different options depending on like what I felt was going to be best on stage, day of. So, like, I was so focused on like my work that I kind of just didn't really think, and I didn't pack like my Hokas or something.
Yeah.
I packed like Vans, like chunky platform Vans, which are extremely heavy, and also they have like a leather interior. So like the sweating with the leather, and I had a no-show low profile sock. So the back of the leather was like rubbing raw my foot, and then on the front, my feet, I have wide set feet to begin with. And then they swelled so much because the heat and the walking. So then even the front of my feet was like really rubbing. So I was like limping already since like 1 in the afternoon. So I was like, it's midnight. I've been limping since 1. I cannot walk 20 minutes in an unknown city. So thankfully the second one took us.
The second taxi.
The second taxi said yes, he'd take us. So we got
with a bit of rudeness. It wasn't like polite, willingness.
He was like, yeah. And then
he was like, fine, get in.
And then kind of fought us the whole way about card or cash. And thankfully we had cash, so we paid cash. But then we get to the hotel around like, 12:10, 12:15. Get into our room at like 12:30. I immediately hop in a shower. We got to bed around 1:30 a.m. And we have 2 days here in Vienna before we have to fly back. And I was like, as much as I want to spend both days exploring Vienna, I am in the negative spoons for the next day from that day. And I mean, there's a reason you've never seen me go to Coachella or any other festival. Like, it's not for me. And unfortunately, the way places like this are set up, it's often not for a lot of disabled people. And I want to do a whole other separate video because you guys see me travel a lot. I've done so many travel vlogs through the years. Even just recently, you've seen me doing a lot of travel vlogs. And I have a lot of travel still coming up. And I think it's important to talk about some of the realities of traveling as a disabled person that I don't usually touch on. And so I'm going to do a whole separate sit-down video to discuss it. But yeah, I was like, we need the day off. So I slept till 10:30 and then I laid in bed till 2. So we finally left the hotel at 2 just to get some salad, a nice light salad and a glass of wine. And we're not doing any exploring. We're not being tourists today. Like, we're gonna walk back to the hotel and maybe take a swim in the hotel pool and just continue to rest. And my boyfriend's able to get some work done, which is great.
Yeah.
But, I don't regret doing it.
Can we stop and say Girlfriend of the Year award to Molly for putting up with something that is extremely challenging as a disabled person, because she knows how much I love it, and she knew from the beginning it was going to be really hard for her, but she wanted to give me this experience. And for many weeks leading up to it, we were like debating whether we even wanted to try, and Molly was like, really, like, just if we can,
no,
let's
I was
do
the
it.
one pushing.
You were the one
should.
pushing. Yeah. So yes. Anyways, continue.
The thing is, I knew I wouldn't enjoy it. I didn't go because I thought I'd enjoy it. I knew it was going to be really hard on me. It was harder than I expected because of other extenuating circumstances, like a heat wave, like having 2 nights of really bad sleep. Like, those things I hadn't accounted for. So it was even harder than I anticipated, but I knew it would be hard. Like I said, that's why I don't go to festivals, because the challenge of it outweighs how much I know I would enjoy it. And so I didn't go because I thought I'd have fun. I went because I knew my partner, this is like a lifelong dream. And like, the opportunity presents, like, let's make it happen. And he never once like pressured me into doing this. All the time he's like, we don't have to. And I was like, no, we do have to. Mm-hmm. And that's what relationships are, is it's give and take. Like, he gives so much to me. Like, that's partnership, is giving back to each other. And so this wasn't about me. Like, he came and he supported me with my TED Talk, he ran my PowerPoint, and he spent so long leading up to this trip, like, helping prep, and that's what he gave to me, and I gave back by giving him the F1 experience, and so it's like, that's just what relationships are, is it's not always about you having fun and you doing what you want to do. It's about watching your partner have fun and do something they want to do, and being happy that they're happy. And, or, you know, like earlier this month, we got an opportunity through my work again to go to a Coldplay concert. And
Lifelong dreams.
that's another lifelong dream of my partner's. It's his favorite band of all time. And, you know, other than the top hits, I've never really like listened to them. And so I could take it or leave it. And it was the end of our 1 month on the road. So it was definitely another period of being like very fatigued, and I had to bring Elton, and it brought other challenges. But again, there was like nothing in me that was like, we're not doing this. I was like, we have to do this. And Elton and I couldn't actually be in the concert because it was too loud. So I sat in the hallway with Elton, just overhearing from the hallway. And he was like, I can stay out here with you. And I was like, absolutely not. You go in. I didn't expect to enjoy this. I knew this wouldn't be fun for me. It wasn't about me. This is about you. Like, go in, watch the show. I will sit out here with Elton. I'm perfectly fine. There's security guards around. Like, I've got water. I've got a little chair. I'm fine, you know? And I think that's just what partnership is. And I do those things for him because he does so much for me all the time. So it's like not even a question.
Give and take.
It's give and take, and like that's a relationship. So this is to say, I don't want to glorify what is possible when you're disabled. Being disabled is hard. And it's made harder when things aren't accessible. And these kind of arenas are rarely as accessible as they need to be, which is why I'm going to, again, link Daniel's work down below, because what he's doing is super important. And if I can find any other resources or groups that are doing something similar, I will also link that down below. But I want to say, like, if you're disabled and you watch videos like this and you're like, oh my gosh, Molly can just do it all, like push, 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 go from one thing to the next. I can't. And it's hard for me to talk about that kind of stuff because I never like to be perceived as being negative. But it is also a disservice to not say it. So that is the reality. Is today I've been flat out, not able to be the tourist in Vienna I wanted to be, but that's okay. I'm giving my body what I need. My boyfriend's able to make the most of it and get work done, and then tomorrow we enjoy the one day we have in Vienna. And we can always come back. Vienna's not going anywhere. So I'm not missing an opportunity to experience Vienna, even though sometimes in the moment it might feel that way. It just means maybe I have to come back. And yeah, I'm gonna do a whole other video diving way more into a lot of this stuff. But that was the little story time of the rest of the vlog that you didn't see. And until next time, if you want to see some other crazy travel experiences I've had recently, you can click here to watch my video where I got to feed a wallaby and sleep with a koala in Sydney, or over here to see my adventure on the world's largest rainforest sand island in Gari. Bye.